very special post-World Cup Front and Free podcast with myself, Big Will, Coach Dan, and of course the prodigy himself, AJ. Gentlemen, I mean, have you caught your breath yet since since that World Cup final?
Listen, I'm here to announce that this is the greatest
Don't.
I have watched.
You're ahead of the program.
Because I haven't caught my breath. So I'm acting.
Fair enough.
But before we go anywhere, guys.
To be fair, I'm sure there's plenty to talk about anyway.
Exactly.
Before we go anywhere, guys, don't forget to comment, like, share, and of course subscribe. I know some of you have been getting on Coach Dan's neck. I'm here for it. So give me some more. Give me some more. But yeah, I haven't caught my breath yet.
Coach?
It's only appropriate that I come with a white shirt today. You see what I'm saying? To raise the occasion.
But if you lot can see this outfit,
I can do a full.
No.
I thought you were going to come in your Argentinian shirt today.
Yeah.
I mean, they've seen it.
Okay.
It's
fair.
not news. It's not news.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not news. But so today we're gonna kill ants with sledgehammers.
Oh.
Yeah, we're killing ants with sledgehammers.
Wow.
But guys, I'm very angry.
Why?
What?
I'm very angry. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the pre-World Cup show that we done here, with the abuse that I got, I was expecting people to give me phone calls to apologize. Today, I'm taking confessions and I haven't received one yet. But by the close of this week, people that be calling me to give confessions. We're taking confessions and I haven't received one call yet.
Wow.
I'm very angry with people.
Can't lie, a couple people need to apologize to you on social media.
Very angry.
You know what I mean? I can't lie. Saw some crazy stuff. I did.
All right, gents. So we're recording this literally a few hours apart from the World Cup final itself. Let's just get straight into it then, AJ. Was this final the best final that you've seen?
This is the greatest. Like, I'm giving you eye contact. This is the greatest final I have watched in my lifetime. Okay, if you disagree, I don't care. I don't want to know. This is just the game was just incredible. I mean, how do you even explain it? I've had people who don't normally watch football message me and say, "Bro, I get why you love football now." Do you understand?
Yeah.
When everyone messages me, "Dad," I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People who don't watch football were so engrossed in the game because the game was just. I don't think I have enough superlatives to describe this game today. But we have been
just
blessed.
You know when you say it's the greatest final you've watched, do you mean World Cup or any final at all?
Including the 3-3 Liverpool against AC Milan.
Any final at all.
Ooh.
Wow.
Listen, it was 2-0. Yeah. What game done? Listen, France looked like they were back in Paris.
Shock. Absolute shell
They
shock.
were chilling in Paris.
Yeah.
With a couple cabanas. Listen.
Apparently
Messi-
there's a conspiracy theories out there that someone poisoned the French team and then...
I mean, do you know what? Yeah.
I mean, that's what Piers Morgan says. So,
It is quite... It's quite bizarre that on the eve of a World Cup final, the week leading up to it, the whole squad is suddenly ill. Listen, can I explain a few things here? You're not in the UK right now where it's cold and icy and it's been snowing. And when you go outside, your fingers feel like they're about to fall off for them to catch a cold or a flu. You're in Qatar. It's warm. It's hot. So apart from, so it's not, if it's not flu or cold, then it has to be food poisoning, right? Or corona. Okay? If they've been poisoned by food, I have nothing else left to say. But the way France started, you could tell that they weren't right. I think we got to give credit to Argentina with the way they took the game to them, but France just didn't look like France. Their first touches were poor, 5-yard passes going out of play. There was no energy in, even when they pressed, it looked like they were pressing with 30% of the tank. It just looked like there was something missing. It looked like, when you've been unwell and you're asked to suddenly, you go up a flight of stairs. You get to the top, you don't even get to the top, you get halfway, you're like whoa. I gotta take a minute. That's what France looked like. And then the second half, when the king decided to grace the occasion, when Kylian Mbappe... Listen, guys, I'm going to say this and I'll hand over to Dan, yeah? In football, there are tiers and there are levels, okay? There are those who play professional football, no problem. There are those
who even play semi-pro as well.
Semi-pro. No problem. There are those who play Sunday League. I salute you guys. There are even those who play five-a-side on a Wednesday.
That's right. That's
Love
right.
you guys. There are those who play very well at professional. Then there are those who are, good club players. Then you have club legends, Then you have, what do they call it? Top tier, Then you have world class.
Yeah.
Of course. Then you have those who play galactic football. Aliens. Lionel Messi is an alien. Cristiano Ronaldo is an alien. Kylian Mbappe today showed me that in football there are tiers and levels in extraterrestrial footballers. Listen, and you know what makes it scary? And I use the word scary very well. The guy's 23 years of age. Can I ask you watching, what were you doing at 23? Because this guy's played extraterrestrial football at the age of 23. I've never seen someone score 4 goals in a World Cup final and he didn't even lick the trophy.
That's crazy when you put it in that context.
Yeah.
Like, scary.
Honestly.
You can't score a hat-trick. Yeah. Hey, if I slander Harry Kane now about penalties, people will say I'm mad.
But the game itself, I mean, once Argentina were up 2-0, we get halfway through the second half, you're not even thinking that France have a chance. But then as soon as Otamendi gives away that penalty, France all of a sudden get a rush of blood, and Mbappe scores that awesome goal.
We always say, right, football's about momentum. Argentina, after they scored the second goal, fans were going crazy. The momentum was with them. Messi was probably dreaming of how he was going to lift the cup. Turning point for me, though, was when the Champs took the decision to take off Giroud and Dembele. Both looked out of sorts. Then, once you score a goal in football, momentum I always say this, it's momentum. Once Mbappe dispatched that penalty, the game just flipped. The tables turned. It was like, whoa. And then, 95 seconds later, was it? Hey. Oh, what a goal. You can't even describe it.
Oh, my gosh.
Just the audacity to not take a touch and hit it first time. Listen, guys, I have
athleticism.
Listen, I have one thing to do tonight on this thing. Kylian Mbappe, you're a bad boy, and I salute you. At 23 years of age.
And even in games like this, when it gets to extra time, you feel like both teams are waiting for penalties. But even then, we had more drama.
End to end in extra time. End to end in extra time.
To the final whistle.
Listen, like Varane ran so hard to clear a ball that he injured himself. He collapsed himself. The guy was crying off the pitch because he knew he'd finished himself probably for the rest of the season because of the World Cup final. This is how much it meant to both sets of teams, both sets of countries. The game was just scintillating at best.
It lived up to the hype, didn't it?
Oh man, this is one of the best World Cups we've ever seen.
Yeah,
easy. Apart from whatever they made Messi wear at the end. To lift the trophy, but
talking about Messi then, coach, does this mean now the fact that he's won the World Cup, he's won everything there is to win in club football and in international football, including Copa America last year, is he now the GOAT? Is he the greatest of all time?
No.
Wait, I did not expect that.
No, he's not. Do you know why?
Oh, here we go.
He's already the GOAT. Is that what you said?
He needs to clearly do it in England, go to Italy. Right? Is that not what some buffoon saying somewhere is going to say? Is that not the argument they're going to lay to him? Let me say it here. Yeah? And finally later as. That's why I come in my white tees. Yeah? Because after today, I'm not talking about Messi again.
He will.
Messi solidified his greatness at the age of 25.
Do you know what? On that point, I'm sorry to cut you. Someone send me Damien Duff's number. Someone please send me Damien Duff's number. I just want to call him. I just want to ask him 2 things. Because he came out on live TV and said, at the age when Messi was 23, 24, which was when Messi was just incredible, I would agree with you. He solidified his legacy by 25. He said that Mbappe couldn't lace his boots. I just want to speak to Damien Duff on the phone. I just want to ask him, did Messi ever score 4 goals in a World Cup final? I just want to... listen, this isn't about... I'm not talking about ability here. I'm just talking about stepping up. Like Mbappe did today. Mbappe can lace Messi's boots in the World Cup final. So someone told Damien Duff to call me because that line he made was crazy. He should repent.
You see how I'm drinking water, minding my business.
Yeah, because you love Damien Duff. He's like your granddad or something because you love Fulham. But the bottom line of it is he needs to repent for that line. But Messi, by the age of 25...
It's undeniable the fact that his talent has equaled the achievements. Everything that you can achieve as a footballer.
Do you want me to listen to his achievements?
Go for it, AJ.
10 La Ligas. 7 Copa del Reys. For those who know what Copa del Rey is, like Carabao, as Dan would say, cup. 4 Champions Leagues, 7 Spanish Super Cups, 3 UEFA Super Cups, 3 Club World Cups, 1 Liga, a Copa America, 7 Ballon d'Ors, and a World Cup. I think that just speaks for itself. My friend Zurio said, he said to me, I've never seen a man carry a country on his back. Almost like when an African auntie carries a child with the rap. That's how Messi carried Argentina to this final. And you know what?
I mean, it depends what you mean by that exactly. If you just mean that the sole responsibility was on him to sort of see them over the line, yeah, I agree. But I think the team also carried Messi just as much. The team that were put behind him in this World Cup carried him just as much. And I think, you look at the way, the hard work. I sat here a few weeks ago and I said,
you did say
this is why I know the team, is set perfectly for Messi to go across the line with them. Yeah. It's lining in the sky like Real Madrid winning the Champions League. Yeah. It's just how that's the inevitable I got. Exactly. That's how I just felt with it. And so if that's sort of like what you meant, then I completely agree. That fact that, he's Messi. He's Messi. It's just that simple. And not only is he Messi, he's been compared with who is regarded as the greatest to ever play the game in Maradona.
Exactly.
There's no way he's escaping that, guys. And then you might even want to make matters worse. Left-footed and number 10 and just whatever nonsense that people want to conjure up to make a bit more edgy. And so you can tell it weighed heavy on him.
Yeah. You can see the emotion.
World Cup today.
Do you know what?
Honestly, I've seen Messi win a lot of stuff.
But I've never seen him celebrate like today.
Like today. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're talking about an individual, You've read out his accolades, He's won everything. He's won everything.
There is to win.
It's almost, I think it's almost insulting, And we are undeserving of Messi and great players in general, When an individual has dedicated, their whole life to entertain you in the greatest sport ever invented by man, in what he's achieved, the way he's played, and everything, and yet we won't have discussions whether he's the greatest of the game ever. And even if he wasn't,
coach. Sorry.
When I tell you I'm waiting for phone calls of apologies. When I tell you, but guys, listen, man. I think, and I always say this to you guys. I get the euphoria around World Cup and winning things and everything like that. But at the end of the day, he's read out all those accolades. Apart from really, let's say Ballon d'Or, which I'm not even a big fan of,
Yeah, we know.
The rest are team achievements. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we've got McAllister in the team now, He was at Brighton. If they went on didn't win it, people could sit there and be like, oh, why a player from Brighton playing in the World Cup final and everything like that, right? I'm saying that to say, yes, you can be in a team and win stuff. You see what I'm saying? And not be great.
Yeah.
You could be a great player that just don't have the right players around you and you never win anything. Yeah. That's why I'm a bit hesitant to sort of like always say, oh, unless Messi wins the World Cup, he can't be the GOAT.
Because it's not a one-man team, is it?
It's not. I'll say this lastly. Great players, these, what do you call them? Extraterrestrial footballers, They win games. Teams win World Cups.
I like that. Perfect.
Can quote that. Put the t-shirt.
I wear my white tees for a reason today, boys.
All right, now guys, let's reveal our team of the tournament. AJ, do you want to reveal the front three special team of the tournament for the World Cup 2022?
Yeah. So we went for in goal. We got to give it to Martinez, man.
Yep.
The shimmy and the shaking on penalties. Do you know what? Yeah, and do you know what tipped
My
him
wife
for
loved
me?
that, by the way.
Oh, is it? Do you know what tipped it for me? We spoke about something off-air mentality. Martinez's mentality is second to none that I've seen. His ability to just psych himself up, psych players out of taking penalties and scoring and commanding. There was times today he came and took crosses with all the authority, like a man who knew that, you know what, I want to win something. I want to make history. Come on, man. So Martinez for me, and by the way, I'd just like to say to all Villa fans, Martinez now owns Aston Villa and Birmingham. Thank you.
Before you move on from him, I wanted to say this because you also mentioned about the mentality.
Yeah.
And off air, we were talking about how Hugo Lloris doesn't fill you with hope when you're going to penny shootouts. You know when the score went to 2-2, then 3-3, I was thinking they all knew was going penalties, right? Martinez has done this multiple times for Argentina.
Bruh.
So the mentality is like, we know he's going to win it for us.
That's it,
When you're talking about mental sort of fortitude, to me, I imagine it as the Argentinians know, yeah, we've got a penalty saver. We've
That's
got
it.
someone
Even
here
if I
that
miss
has
it- I miss it,
yes, done
yeah.
it for
Let me-
us.
let me tell
Whereas
you-
maybe the French, they
Let
don't
me-
know how
let-
to
let me-
feel about Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something for free. When the ref blew the whistle for full time, I told him I said Argentina have won the World Cup. Because I knew about Martinez and what he does at penalties and the type of goalkeeper he is. And let me tell you something. If you have football knowledge, I mean football knowledge, you know that Hugo Lloris will not do anything in a penalty shootout. Because he's a substandard goalkeeper.
That irks me a little bit.
Interesting,
Man.
but
Let's go with the fact is fact.
Fair.
He didn't sniff one penalty, bro. Ask him which one he got near. You ask him.
Why are you turning the team of the tournament into
Anyway,
a
sorry.
bashing?
Sorry. It's a Tottenham bashing if you don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm about to bash Harry Kane real soon. So yeah, big shout out to the Croatian goalkeeper
Yeah.
as well, who
I
just
agree.
misses out.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal against Brazil.
Yeah.
What a player he is. Yes, he made some outstanding saves. If we go further back as well, I thought Szczesny had a fantastic World Cup as well. Just to mention Szczesny's name. Yeah, so that was our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So for right back,
Yeah.
we chose Hakimi,
Yeah.
the Moroccan wing wizard, because he just doesn't play right back. He plays along all the right side.
Yeah.
And we saw against France how him and Mbappe had an amazing battle. And going forward, he was such a bright spot from Morocco.
Yeah.
So we went for Hakimi at right back. But a special shout out to Juranovic for Croatia, who was an absolute machine down that right side.
Yeah.
Not many players got change out of him.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably going to get a move in the summer for those performances. And so left back, we
Theo.
went for Theo Hernandez for France. He scored in the knockout stages. He looks very good going forward. I think defensively, well, you could probably have a few gripes about it, but I think overall as a left back, he was solid going forward. He offered France a lot and a lot of dynamism down that left side. So yeah, and then centre halves, we went for. You can mention his name.
I love it.
Guardiola.
Oh.
You gotta say with that sauce.
That's
Mediterranean
That's why I think you should say it. What a tournament the young man had. Wow. Stepping up in the tournament and to command the back line and come so close.
Yeah.
So close to being in the final and making history. And he was solid. I think it was only Messi I really saw that really,
Took him to the cleaners.
took him out, brought him back in and then sent him out again. But he was against one of the finest players we will ever see.
Of course.
And so, yeah. And then on the other side to him, we had a bit of a debate here.
Yeah.
A few names were mentioned.
Yeah.
But then we went for Romero,
Yep.
which hurts me because he's a Tottenham
Yeah, I
player.
was about
But
to say that.
I think throughout the tournament,
You're the bigger men, guys. You're the bigger men. You wouldn't mind so much when you win the league at the end of the season.
Wow.
Exactly. I think he's been outstanding all
Yeah,
tournament.
he
Even
has.
today, putting a strong performance. He commanded that back line. He literally died on the line. And like you were saying, it takes a team to win a World Cup. And I think he epitomized how much he wanted to win the World Cup with his performances, his die-hard attitude. So yeah, that makes up our back four and our goalkeeper.
Yep.
Into midfield, we went from midfield three.
Yep.
It consists of Jude Bellingham.
Of course.
We don't have to say much on that.
No.
If you disagree, don't call me. For Jude one side, we went for Antoine Griezmann.
Yep.
On the other side, who was absolutely spectacular this tournament.
Both going forwards and also coming back as
Defensively as well. He's transformed and evolved
well. I'm
into...
sure Simeone would have loved those performances.
I think
You
he's
wouldn't be
been...
surprised to see him left back in La Liga. When they need him to go wing back.
Wing back, left wing back, because you know that man don't play attacking football, Atletico. But yeah, he's been incredible this tournament. I think he really shown for France. There were a lot of question marks regarding him, but man, when he steps up on the international stage, he's a different player.
Yeah.
And to come to the base of our midfield, we chose Unahi from Morocco.
Yeah.
For me, he's one of the best players in this tournament. He's 22 years of age. The way he carried the ball, made incisive passes, ground he covered. He just had that je ne sais quoi for Morocco.
And I'll touch on him as well. I think there's something about the simplicity of his game that reminds me of Sergio Busquets.
Oh wow!
And he's built so
And he's
slim
built
like him as well.
tall, lanky.
Yeah, he just that simplicity is so that reminded me of Sergio Busquets. He's got many things to do before he's Sergio Busquets, but
even his positional play as well.
Yeah, but what a player he is. And for our front three, well,
The front three, Coach Dan, AJ.
And will.
It works, you know.
Thank
I'm
you,
like
guys.
Messi, obviously.
We need to cut that bit out.
No, but it's funny because you'll just be the extra
Terrestrial.
No. Messi. I'm on the left side. Yeah. I'm Messi. You know who he is?
Oh, Giroud.
Hey. Can I announce something? No problem. France's highest all-time international goal scorer.
Yeah.
A man who was playing 4th tier French football when he was at 23, 24. And is our all-time top scorer for France. Beating Thierry Henry.
Respect.
Yeah, I don't mind. And he's a good-looking chap. So, yeah. So, yes, that makes up our front three.
That's it.
Mbappe, Giroud, Lionel Messi. And that completes our team of the tournament.
Excellent. Yeah. So if you guys have any qualms with our team of the tournament, let us know. If you have yours, let us know as well. We're happy to debate you on that as well. So, gentlemen,
and I think, like Infantino will say, today I feel Argentinian.
Oh, man.
just to remind you again, it was Argentina that won the World Cup. If
you didn't know, if you were a bit surprised, you know.
All right, gents. Who is your player of the tournament then?
Which one?
I think, you know, the awards they gave out, I think was sensible. I think Mbappe definitely deserves something. I want to say something about Mbappe. Because, you know, before this year, we were discussing how unsure we were he was going to perform.
Then you owe him an apology.
But see, this is what I'm going to say. You know, in the first game, we were chatting that, he just looks phenomenal and just looks like he's up for this tournament. Mbappe remind me of someone that every single person that's watched football has nothing bad to say about him, and that's Ronaldinho. In the sense that Mbappe was smiling when he was playing football, and I loved watching that.
Yeah,
I love watching it because no one can deny his talent, you know. And I think your analogy for it is perfect, right? In the sense of how he plays and everything like that. But you were just so unsure. Is he going to be this guy that comes and he thinks like, it's all about me? I don't think he showed that. He just showed that he wanted to play football.
Yeah.
He just believed that he could take France to the final. And everything he done, he was just smiling and playing his game and showing a bit of trickery that we don't even sometimes associate his game with. And it was just phenomenal to watch. But with no apologies, I never apologize. It's what's expected of him when you're blessed with all that talent. But I've really enjoyed watching him because just that smart, it just something about that just reminded me of Ronaldinho.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think
he's the most dangerous player on the planet at the moment.
Listen, he's so explosive, but then he's got so much guile with the explosiveness.
Yeah.
So he'll take you down the line. Yeah, cut back. Bro, your hips are discombobulated by the time you know where the ball is. You don't know what's going on. You know. He's and the scariest thing is
he receives the ball, the defenders are already
they're already running back. So he doesn't check, comes and gets short, and when he turns and shapes up 1-on-1,
every
curtains
second counts, man. Every second
curtains. I'm telling you, and man, and the scariest thing is, I still think he can polish his game.
That's the thing. At the age of 23, 24, he's got a lot to improve on.
Much.
But for me, you know. Player of the tournament, I think him.
Okay. You
don't ever look further than Lionel Messi. And I'll say something about Lionel Messi. And you know, the channels that we watched it on, it seems like every game they were waxing lyrical about Messi. Messi was doing what he's always done. In fact, to me, watching Messi, he was playing at 50%.
This is what I'm saying. It's just the normal stuff.
Messi
will tell someone, incredible. Incredible. And what a player. Artistry, magic.
It's not that euphoria around him having to win the World Cup. And
of course. That was all
to me, it meant nothing to me.
Probably for him, he probably thought, I'm just doing the normal.
I'm telling you, a few of the times I was just sitting there and I was yawning. It's Messi. It's normal stuff. I'm saying. It's like, you know, don't say the battle for Messi.
You know, for
he doesn't need the battle.
When he turned Gvardiol, you know that little shimmy turn, cross, and then Alvarez popped it in. People were going crazy as if it's the best thing since sliced bread. I was like, you didn't see this guy when he was 23, 24 then. You didn't watch him properly.
No. Yeah, man.
You didn't watch him properly because when he was making Jerome Boateng into a pretzel, where were you lot? Come on, man. But so I think, do you know what?
Before the ones I've mentioned, is there any ones?
Before the final, I said Griezmann.
You said Griezmann.
But after what Mbappe did, I can't look past Mbappe personally.
Personally, I'll say Mbappe for me.
Yeah. It's just
it's very good. Very good.
Yeah. All right. Let's start off with this then. Your surprise of the tournament. This could be a team, players.
Morocco.
Yeah.
I think if we're being honest, if we looked at the African teams that were in the tournament, we probably wouldn't have thought Morocco would go as far as they did. They went to the semi-finals. It's history that they made. And do you know what surprised me most about Morocco is they feared no one.
No.
And they played very, very good football. Like Morocco, we couldn't associate Morocco with playing channel balls or lumping up. They actually tried to play in between the lines, play sharp, attacking, football. They were so pleasing on the eye. So for me, it would be Morocco who were my surprise of the tournament. And I'm so happy for Morocco and Africa as a continent that Morocco could represent so well and make history.
Yeah.
Honestly, watching Morocco for me it's been one of the highlights of the tournament.
100%.
I thought they were incredible, and Unahi as well.
Yeah,
man, welcome to the Prem, son. Because I think you'll be coming to the Prem soon after that. World Cup.
Okay, so I think just quickly on Morocco, yeah, and we can't unpack what I'm about to say on here, but it's what I like to call a thought for food for people. Yeah, not food for thought.
A thought
for food. You said it, and from where we're England, right? That's where we watch our games and everything like that. And for the people around the world, they'll know it as Inglaterra. Yeah. This is the educational stuff for you guys.
Oh, this guy.
I think it's about time, yeah, we actually meet Morocco where they want to be met. Because I don't know if anyone noticed this, and I want to put this out. I don't know if anyone noticed this, yeah? During every build-up, the pundits and whoever, yeah, kept referring to Morocco as the first African team to go that far. I don't know if anyone paid attention to it. Do you guys know, yeah, Morocco never once called themselves an African team? I don't know if anyone heard this. Morocco never once called themselves an African, and we're not gonna, like I said, it's too heavy to unpack.
Yeah.
You know what I heard them saying? We're doing this for our country and for the Arabic nations. They never once, within their own camp, when, they do these little short interviews and
the little
not
VTs
one
and stuff.
person said, yeah, we're doing it for Africa. They do not class themselves as Africans. But that's a conversation for another time.
For food, right?
It's a thought for food.
Not if you're fasting.
Yeah. Surprise. Pleasant.
Okay.
Good surprises.
And to me, they're more like memorable, right?
Yeah.
And I'll put them in this order.
Yeah.
I'll put them in this order. Third, in third place, was the failed execution, yeah, of the One Love armband. That's memorable for me. Do you know why? Because it's a testimony, yeah, to how people love to virtue signal. And so I was very glad that it failed. Do you know how, yeah, you knew it was all just a front and a show? It was... FIFA only had to, yeah, threaten them with a yellow card. A yellow card shut them up. A yellow card.
But we did say this before that people are fickle.
If England and Wales and them wanted to make a real loud noise, stay home.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why did Wales come to the World Cup?
We said this before,
For
man.
God, come and score a penalty. Stay home. Right? Stay home.
We said this before, though,
Germany
man.
doing this. The only people that were doing this at the end, yeah, were the German fans shocked to the fact that they lost to Japan. They were all like this. So that's my number 3.
Yep.
Number 2, were the fact that I thought the Argentinian, the Moroccan fans were phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
man.
think they brought.
They made the World Cup, whether they were real fans or not.
Because you think about it, it's a faraway land, right?
Yeah.
And for them to have got there in their numbers and the support and just it was just vibes, man. It's one of the first World Cups that, World Cup, you want to be there for the great spectacle that it is and the players, but I wanted to be among those fans.
Yeah.
In fact, do you know what? I put it on par with the 2010 South Africa one.
Fair enough.
With the vuvuzelas and all of that.
And a lot of them did that not toxicated. So
that tells you something.
That's a pleasant
something.
surprise. That's a pleasant memory for me as well.
Yeah.
The fact that alcohol and drugs were banned,
and
we didn't hear of arrests
so
and
it makes it
scuffles
authentic.
and
Yeah.
You know what I'm
things
saying?
like that. Yeah,
Even a buffoon like me can drink alcohol and then start jumping around. But it made it authentic
Of
like
course,
that, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the first,
drum roll, please.
you can never, not even that guy that does the Animal Kingdom, whatever, Attenborough, yeah?
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough.
Not even him, yeah, can capture an image as beautiful as the gold in Lionel Messi's hand.
Ooh.
Not even his background.
Let's move on.
But is that a surprise?
No, it's not.
Okay, so for me, it's like memorable moments.
Memorable
you can say
moments.
surprise, but for me, that's what.
What's
I'm
your
really going
memorable
about.
moment from the World Cup then?
Most memorable moment. Seeing Luis Suarez cry in 4K.
Ghanaian. After a whole 12 years.
No, that is one of my memorable moments. But my most memorable moment, it's hard. It's hard. It's actually hard.
Whilst you're thinking about it, I suppose when you say surprising, the surprising is the fact that no one is yet to answer me why it was such a big hype about Brazil. Because the challenge is still out there, guys.
Of course it is.
I get why Brazil, as a nation, will be considered as a favourite. But I'm asking the question, why particularly this team? What about this team here that got people thinking Brazil were going to win the World Cup? Do you know the revelation I had here? That on the internet and in world football, they say it's a game of opinions. But I've also realised people are devoid of independent thought. No one to this day,
cheap.
No one can explain to me why, Brazil was considered to be the favourites for this World Cup.
People were saying, even the second and third team are better than people.
It's nonsense.
Doesn't mean anything.
Like, you know, when you go Neymar, these superstars or whatever you mentioned, yes, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's a 26-man squad. What about Brazil made people think they were favourites and everyone jumped on it?
And do you know what? It's crazy because people were believing that hype so much. They were looking past facts like when Argentina come into the World Cup, how many games they hadn't lost in.
Yeah.
They were looking past the fact that France are the World Cup holders. They were looking past things like that to be like, Brazil.
Well, it's because it's Brazil, it's the exotic names, like you said in the.
And it's also, and do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I think Brazil's history precedes them every time.
But to be fair, in the recent tournaments, they've been very disappointing.
Yeah,
Very
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Their history
true.
precedes everything, and it's actually mind-boggling when you think about it. Because when was the last time Brazil won a tournament?
I'm sure even.
What?
I'm sure if they were to
2002?
release odds of
Was it
the.
2002?
Yeah.
Was it 2002 they won?
Yeah. I'm sure if they were to release odds for the next World Cup, who would win? Brazil will be favourite.
Probably fair enough.
Right now. No, I'm not saying that as the. But I'm saying just because people just think Brazil.
You're correct. But I also think within football, you have to be,
just have to look at it.
Exactly. You have to be able to analyze things that are happening in real time and then make your own decisions. Just felt like everyone in the world thought Brazil was going to win it, and for me, I couldn't understand why. Perhaps I watched the Copa America because I stayed up late watching those games. Right?
I watched it with you.
Exactly, you did that with me. I think for me as well, the most surprising thing for second place is Spain, and Spain probably tips it. Spain and Portugal, I thought were very surprisingly disappointing for me. And I think I've mentioned it to you guys here. Since Luis Enrique took over Spain, they've dominated possession, as Spain always do. But especially for Luis Enrique, I think he was doing it, to mask the defensive frailty that is the Spanish football team. I've not been impressed with them at all. First game, smashed Costa Rica like there's no tomorrow. Then what happened? They didn't even win a single game till they went out.
But remember who they played? Costa Rica. Anyway,
I thought they were just a disappointment.
I thought about my most memorable moment.
Yeah.
Good.
Holland's free kick routine to equal
That was amazing.
against Argentina.
That was amazing.
Van Gaal, you're a genius. That's one of my most memorable.
Where is he now?
That's one of my most memorable moments. Because that bro, come on. All of us in that moment, you're thinking, someone just needs to put this on target. Do you know what I mean?
Might be recency bias, but for me, Mbappe's second goal today was just
magic. Extraterrestrial. Anyway.
You've sort of talked about it a bit, Coach. This most disappointing performance by a team, by a player, or your biggest disappointment overall from
I suppose I was a bit ahead of the conversation in that sense. Guys, it's like Spain. I said, man. I think
Spain were very
but touch on Portugal.
I think Portugal, Spain, and who was the other team I met? Brazil. Brazil.
Yeah.
And for all of you wondering why we haven't mentioned Belgium, they just don't deserve a mention. That's how poor they are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because they've been a disappointment every other tournament since this golden age thing, right?
There's no golden age.
There's not.
More like bronze age.
Bronze age. You're taking a mic. That's a good one, actually.
Yeah,
bronze age. They go silver, then gold. Yeah.
Which is never happening.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that for free.
You know, in my challenge that how many teams at the World Cup has as strong as a 20-man six squad, or what teams in the World Cup has a better 26-man team than England? I thought Portugal was one of the few teams that gets close to that.
100%.
Okay, my most disappointing team in tournament is England.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Do you know why? Because
Yeah.
Okay, so we can touch on that later.
say.
But I think Portugal, from head to toe, maybe
So
the
much
weakest
talent.
side is the goalkeeper. Maybe the weakest side is the goalkeeper. I think they're just full of talent.
So much talent.
Great players.
And I just think he got it wrong.
Completely wrong.
I think he got it wrong, man.
It's weird. He got it wrong, right? But he done something that I never thought that
was
manager
good.
had the ability to do. I didn't think he had the cojones to do, right? And that was to
Drop
drop Ronaldo.
But as soon as they were 1-0 down, he makes Ronaldo.
But maybe you shouldn't have after. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because Portugal scored all the goals they had in them in that game. They just went dry.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's interesting because when I heard he was going to drop Ronaldo, obviously the news broke I think a day or so before. Now literally, and I remember saying, Portugal will win or be at the detriment of their tournament. I said it.
I thought.
Do you know why I say? Do you know why I said that? Do you know? Because do you know what came in my mind? Two things came in my mind. Number one, right? I'm looking at Argentina side, who look like they want to fight for Messi to finally lift the World Cup. Then and I looked at their coach, and you can see how much he wanted the team to win this for Messi and of course their nation.
I feel like for Portugal, it wasn't the same.
No,
and I'm glad about that. Do you know why? Because I thought it was very, 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 selfish of Ronaldo to put out that interview, that we can tell right before the World Cup. Do you know why? Because they had the monopoly on when that video could be released.
Of course.
I thought that was inappropriate.
We will talk about that. Yeah,
because we gotta put some things into.
Okay, so we wait for that.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've spoken to a couple people, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that was Portugal's downfall.
Yeah.
The manager doing that. Because the very moment you do that, you take away the hope and you take away the fight. Because for some players, and you look at Argentina, De Paul, for example, you could tell that his fuel and motivation, of course he wants to win a World Cup for personal satisfaction, but he wanted Messi to win it. Do you see what I'm saying? You could see Martinez was asked, going into the final, you're not the favourites. How do you feel about it? He goes, how are we not the favourites? We have the greatest of all time and we want to win it for him. Do you see the mentality is different?
Completely different.
That's what probably pushed him over the edge to win today. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Whereas you just take out Ronaldo, a lot of these players know they've got another 3-4 World Cups. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And so for me, it's kind of like, I said it was at their detriment that they dropped him. Of course, shout out to the striker. His name has escaped me now. For scoring a hat trick.
Yeah,
but it was at their detriment.
And I agree. And I'll say this: we're gonna touch more on it anyway. So I'll leave it. Yeah. Just so.
There's only 3 wise men. Don't listen to. It's the front three. No, it's the front three. There's only 3 wise men.